Paul just got done saying I take credit for my mistakes. Oh, you had the wrong number, Tom. Let's go back here. Let me look here. Because if I'm not mistaken, we went over the numbers yesterday, and I just copied the number you had down.
Okay. We're calling right now. Let's call Herb. That was my fault. I'll take responsibility.
As you should. Music is done. Let's bring it.
Yeah.
Herb, Paul, Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. We have Tommy in the studio.
Hey, what's going on, Herb? How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
We're doing, we're doing great. Thanks for coming on the show, and I'm so happy that you commented on. I'm an outsider fishing group. We actually, I take responsibility, Herb. I wrote down the wrong number. I don't know who I was calling.
I told him he was probably calling some poor old woman like in another state, and she's so confused right now.
It's not the first time I've done that, so I'm glad you were waiting for. I apologize if you were waiting at all, but the idea.
Yeah, there's no problem.
The idea, yeah, I did. But the idea behind the show is to spread happiness to the world through the joys of fishing. And so you sent in a photo of a pretty good sized bass, and we want to hear about that. We want to hear your fish story.
Yeah. Where
you caught that fish, what bait you were using, and then the size of the fish. So this is your podcast. Let's hear about your fish story.
All right. Well, it's a little farm pond in New Jersey. My dad used to fish it for pickerel way back when he was young, and we thought maybe there'd still be pickerel in there. So he brought me there the first time 8 years ago. And the first day I went there, I caught like 18 bass in probably 20 minutes. Got hooked on the spot. So
nice.
I start going there all the time without him. And that day, it was cold. I went crappie fishing, and there were crappie in there. So I was using a small mess. I was using a size 0. And I'm reeling in real slow because the water was cold. Real slow, dude. This thing hit me maybe a foot away from the shore.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe that size bass hit such a small lure. It gave me a hell of a fight because I was only using ultralight stuff, but I never weighed it. That's one of the biggest fish I ever caught.
I'm sure that was one hell of a fight with that ultralight stuff. I mean, that probably you probably thought that rod was gonna break.
Oh, dude, it was a blast.
You know what? It's one of the things I do. I like using light tackle, and for me, it's like how much skill do I actually have if I could pull in a big fish. And I've lost plenty because I have light tackle. And
which shows the skill that he has.
I'm not very skillful. That's true. But there's something about bringing in big fish on light tackle.
Absolutely.
Because you gotta finesse it.
It's
a blast.
It's a blast, man. It's a total blast. I love it.
And then sometimes there's a little fish on the end of that pole, and those are fun too.
Yeah, well,
you're trying to keep tension on the line, and that little fish just comes flying out of the water right at your face. And like before you know it's behind you.
It's a great feeling that once it's on the sewer.
He's speaking from personal experience.
I totally have this picture in my head because it's happened to me. Sometimes I'm fly fishing. It's like it's light tackle, and that thing just flies out of the water.
Just plucks them right out, apparently. That's awesome. No, Herb, we're really glad that you reached out back to us because, again, sorry about...
we were actually going to close out the show, but we're glad to have you on. We've actually had your dad on the show.
Yeah.
And so we're happy to have family come and tell us their fish story.
And that's what it's about. It's just about having fun and sharing your stories and families. We've had brothers on before. We've had... now we've father and son couples
on the show.
I mean, it's a blast. I mean, and this is why we do what we do.
Yeah, it's about the joys of fishing. We'll put this up on all our platforms for your listening pleasure, and share it with your family, and say, "Look, Dad, I got on it too. Mine's better than yours."
Yeah. My picture was
it is going to be better.
Yeah, see? Like, my picture's better than
yours.
I can't
talk too much. He taught me everything I know. So.
Well, the whole student becomes a teacher thing kind of comes into effect at some point. So.
I kick his butt now, so I ain't even a teacher first.
That's what I'm saying. The whole student becomes a teacher. So, no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad,
I'm hoping that because I'm teaching Tommy that one day he'll be able to like do a little bit more for the show.
With all due respect, you have not taught me anything.
Because you don't listen. You're a terrible student. Well, please continue to send in photos, and we'll have you back on the show anytime you'd like to be. Thanks for being a part of the group. And we have a couple of things new on OutsiderTackleBox.com. We have ways to win free stuff. We give a full valued box, $40 retail value that we give away. We added a button to the homepage. It just says win free stuff. Mm-hmm. There's 5 ways to enter, and no purchase necessary. Mm-hmm. And then we have weekly bids that go out for $1 recently. So we're happy to let go boxes when people go on and do that. So that bid ends tomorrow.
Again, just having fun.
It's about fun.
It's the fun. It's the joys of it all.
It is.
Keep kids fishing. That kind of thing. Get them into tackle boxes, not Xboxes. That was a quote from James Heisterman. So
I like it.
Gotta give him the credit where that's due. But no, that's
I like that you remember that.
I told you I'm not as dumb as I look. But yeah, Herb, it's been great talking to you. Keep fishing and keep sending in photos, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Of course, guys.
Keep kicking your dad's butt.
Thank you.
No offense.
I'm going.
No offense to Herb Sr. We love you too. However,
we love Herb. He comments too all the time.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Oh
yeah. But now that I can sit there and fuel the fight between the two of them, like, no, your son's gonna beat your butt. Nope, Dad's gonna beat your butt. Now we get that little bit of little challenging.
Well, here's what Dad did do. Dad sent in a photo with multiple fish.
Oh, all right.
Snakeheads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go.
2 of them are mine. Don't listen to him.
Oh, see, we didn't know that. We're gonna call Dad and be like, "Hey, you took a photo with your son's fish in there, and took credit for it."
He said the 2 of them are his. Come on now. So
He had the giant though, so.
No, see,
he got me.
He got you on that one. But see, well, I love it. I love it when we have that little bit of competition between.
Yeah.
So
has to be.
Exactly. That's what keeps this great country going, is a little bit of competition. So, all right.
Definitely.
There's nothing better when somebody says, "Hey, Paul, you did a great job," and
nobody ever says it?
they didn't mention your name. That's competition.
I never say it.
Definitely.
Thanks for being on the show, Herb. We, from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, have a good rest of your Saturday. Tight lines, fish more.
Man, tight lines. Enjoy your Saturday, bud. Have fun.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Take care, bud. Bye.
See you.